Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 16th of December 2020. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Morgan Greer deck for today's reading. There's still a few copies of my deck, the Gregory Scott Tarot, available on my website. So if you're interested in those, head over to gregoryscott.com. Let's see what these cards have to say about Wednesday and what energy you'll be working with. So I'm going to choose 3 cards here. First card is the Hermit, Judgment, and the Hangman. Wow. So we've got 3 major arcana cards. So this is a big day. We've got huge themes here. First of all, the Hermit is the 9th card in the major arcana. We've got an older man there holding his staff and a lantern with the Star of David in it. And the Hermit is really a symbol that self-reflection is really going to pay off. So being contemplative, taking a moment to meditate is really going to enlighten your life. It's going to give you ideas for the future. And there's huge understanding of the self. So if there are certain things which are patterns in your life, things that you have struggled to overcome, by looking within, you'll start to understand some of those issues and you'll be able to find a way forward. What's interesting is this 6-sided star, that appears in the astrology sometimes. If I draw up your birth chart, it's got a wheel in the center and the planets form different aspect patterns with one another. And once in a blue moon, we've got a grand trine, which is a big blue triangle, pointing down. So 3 planets form the trine between themselves. And then sometimes we've got another trine, so another big blue triangle pointing upwards, and they intersect and create this 6-sided star. And that is often a symbol that the person is a huge mystic and that they have this direct line to the universe. I mean, we all do, but for some people, it's easier to connect and to get spiritual messages. And the intersection of the 2 trines indicates that there's major talent on planet Earth, and there's huge talent to connect with the unmanifest, with the invisible, to pull aside the veil and to really get spiritual answers directly from source. And that's what the Hermit has. He's really gifted in the sense that he's got the time and patience to think about himself, not in a practical, physical way, but his existence on planet Earth. So to ask the big questions and to have the patience to try and listen to those messages and see what they mean. So that's often the triangle pointing up. It's looking at the world and saying, this isn't just it. There's more to my existence than my house, my job, my body, my experience. And the other triangle pointing down is the universe connecting with that desire to find answers and to find some deeper meaning. And it's kind of the universe sending an answer back and giving those messages. The star in itself shines brightly, so it creates a lot of light. And that's what you're really able to do. By asking yourself the big questions, you'll really get a clear answer. There'll be a sense of certainty, understanding, and even a sense of enthusiasm. This is what I want. This is right. This is what I'm supposed to do. He's also holding the staff, and the staff in the tarot is usually in the suit of wands, and that has to do with fire. And fire is a masculine element that's about life purpose. It says if you take charge of your life, if you're in control, which you always are, but if you decide to go ahead with certain things because suddenly you feel clear about them, then you're able to start a new journey, which is really fulfilling and which gives you a lot of hope for the future, because you've now seized something, or you've got access to something that's really meaningful to you. And by taking the steps forward, you're really going to benefit from that greatly. So the Hermit is saying, just take a few minutes to contemplate your current circumstances, your situation as it is, and you'll get a lot of answers from that. And that's really, really heightened by the Judgment card. The Judgment card, we've got this big trumpet emerging from the clouds and sounding the horn and really getting your attention quite clearly. And then we've got this cross in the center, and that cross symbolizes pretty much the same thing as the Star of David. This line is the universe speaking to you, and this line is the intersection between spirit and your physical self. So you really have access to the higher realms. It all opens up, and things that have really seemed hidden up until now suddenly make total sense. And not only do they make sense, they fill you with energy and a sense that, wow, I should be doing this. This is going to be amazing. So it's real fire inside of you, real passion, and understanding that if you follow your own unique purpose, not what, they teach you at school or what other people expect of you, but the thing that makes you come alive, the thing that inspires you, then you're really going to benefit greatly from that. And it opens up this whole other path that you can walk. Here we've got this kind of coffin out to sea, and we've got these people in blue kind of coming back to life, and that's usually what the Judgment card is about. It's a bit grim usually. Here it looks like a family that's just out on a day trip on the lake, but it's really kind of coming back from death. And what it means by that is not actual physical death, it's this death of the spirit. So you get stuck in your circumstances, you lose sight of why you're doing certain things. Your circumstances are a reflection of decisions you've made in the past. And sometimes we make decisions out of fear or because we feel we have to, and then we take jobs or we get into relationships or we behave a certain way because that's what we've decided to do in the past, and we feel responsible and obligated to see that through. But after a while, after years often, you kind of lose track of what was happening a few years ago, and you just feel like you're going through the motions, and questions like, is this it? Is this the reason I'm here? Those kind of things come up, and the Judgment card is an opportunity to listen to your higher self, to your gut, if you will, to that sense of power within you. And once in a while, it blows its trumpet and it gets your attention and it says, hang on a minute, this is why you're here. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And then you come back to life and you get this opportunity to really create the kind of life that you want to live. And it doesn't come quietly. I mean, a trumpet doesn't just kind of whisper in your ear. It's a big shock. So you'll get a big, clear message by looking within today that says, hey, it's time to decide again. Choose again. Make a different decision and you'll have a different outcome. And it really feels like you are reborn in a sense. It's like, wow, I've got this whole new thing ahead of me. The past doesn't matter anymore. I'm living in the present moment and I've got this whole future available to me. So that's really, really encouraging and it gives you a lot of energy. Finally, we've got the Hangman. The Hangman traditionally is a criminal who's being punished. So he's strung up by his leg there, and his legs form the number 4. So that's safety and security and structure. So by doing something incorrectly, society says, no, 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 we're not having this. And they kind of take him out of the loop. And the Hangman is about changing your perspective. So it's a little bit interesting because once you hang someone up, usually they don't have a lot of opportunity to learn from their mistakes. But here, they've actually tied him up by his legs, so they're giving him a timeout. They're saying, have a look at what you've been doing, try to understand why that wasn't right and why we as a society don't like that. And it doesn't have to be a crime, it can be a bad decision that you've made. And often bad decisions are things that we make in a split second out of fear. So, oh my God, I need to provide for everybody else. So it doesn't matter what I want to do. So I've had a dream of being an artist for years and years and years, but that doesn't matter right now because the kids need to eat. So let's push that aside and get a job in a factory. And that's the kind of thing the Hangman is about. So he is then in the factory setting for years and years. And the Hangman gives him an opportunity to say, hang on a minute, time out. Let's look again. Let's choose again. And that allows him to make different decisions which create new structures in his life, and usually the Hangman has a halo around his head. So when he takes the time to contemplate his circumstances and the decisions that he makes, he starts to understand a way forward. We've got these two tree trunks here creating a doorway, and whether it's this way around or this way around, there is a doorway. So by looking at things differently, you open new opportunities for yourself, you find a different way to proceed, and you're able to create things which not only serve you long term, but which really give you a sense of joy and fulfillment. So this card is saying, look at things differently. The Hermit says, contemplate what's going on and what's important to you, and embrace this energy of rebirth and renewal, because you have the opportunity to choose all over again and to change your life completely. So you can totally transform your circumstances, and it all happens up here in your head or in your gut. It depends on how you get your messages. Some people just feel a sense of certainty in their stomach. Some people kind of dream about what they ought to be doing, and that feels very certain and secure. Other people see an image that says, oh, wow, hang on a minute, I need to look at this. This really makes sense to me. It resonates, so let me do things differently in future. So however you get your messages, whether you read a book and you find a passage particularly interesting and it just hits a nerve, look around your life on this day, see where you can make changes and see where you can choose again. Number-wise, we've got 9 and 20 is 29, and then we've got 12, and that's 41. I think it is anyway. 12 and 20 is 32, and 9 is 41. Yep, 4 and 1 is 5, and 5 in numerology is about freedom. So by making different decisions, you'll be able to liberate yourself and to get yourself into a position where you enjoy your everyday experience and where the structures of your life not only bring you security in a sense of being grounded and being peaceful, but it also fills you with excitement and motivation. I think the ideal state for all of us is to get out of bed in the morning and to say, wow, I get another day where I get to do what I love. And that's something that you can really hang on to if you found the right thing. It's not something that fades over time. If it has faded over time and you're really fed up with your circumstances, then it's really a symbol, it's a symbol that it's time to look at things differently and to do something new. Have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on the Book Your Readings button to order your reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.